Chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you because right now, in this very breath, the countdown has begun. You have 45 minutes, not a second more. Not a second less to recognize that what is unfolding is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. The hands of the eternal clock have aligned with your name, and the whisper that reaches your spirit is not from this world. You are being summoned. You are being seen. You are being called out from the shadows of delay into the light of divine rescue. You, chosen one, are standing in a divine moment. You have cried enough tears to water an entire field of purpose. You have endured betrayal, misunderstanding, and storms that would have broken others. Yet you stand. You still breathe. You still believe. That is why this message found you now. Not by algorithm, but by alignment. This is not random. This is rescue. Heaven's voice whispers to you now. Respond. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Because obedience delayed is destiny denied. The angels carrying your rescue cannot complete their mission until your spirit answers. Yes, Lord, the moment you respond, the countdown turns into breakthrough. But until then, heaven waits in silence, not because it is powerless, but because it respects your choice. Listen closely. There is a stirring in the invisible. The two angels are already near. One holds the oil of healing, the other bears the sword of deliverance. The heavens are open above you. But time is sacred. You have 45 minutes to align your heart with what heaven is doing. That's not fear, that's mercy. God's mercy manifested as time. Each second that passes is a seed of grace being offered to you. Will you take it? Or will you let it fade into regret? You are not ordinary. And that's why your battles have been extraordinary. Every rejection was a redirection. Every delay was divine training. You are being positioned for something far greater than survival. You are being positioned for purpose. There is an anointing upon you that intimidates darkness. That's why the warfare has been so personal. The enemy doesn't attack what he doesn't fear, but your light terrifies him. And heaven is reminding you, the battle was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal you. Chosen one, stop doubting yourself. Stop replaying old wounds. You have been chosen for this exact moment in time. God's calendar is never wrong. And tonight, your name is on his agenda. Heaven is speaking through this message, not to entertain you, but to awaken you. This is your moment of divine recall. You were sent here for something holy, and heaven refuses to let you miss it. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper, not to harm, plans for hope and future. This is the anchor of your rescue. Chosen one. Heaven's plan for you has never changed, even when you doubted, even when you felt unseen, even when your prayers hit the ceiling and fell silent. God's plans were still breathing over your life, waiting for this moment. The angels that have been sent are carrying the blueprint of that plan, unfolding it now in real time. Heaven does not speak twice when it expects obedience the first time. You have heard the call. You have felt the stirring. You have recognized the divine fingerprints on this message. The question remains, will you respond before the 45 minutes are gone? You don't need to know how the angels will rescue you. You only need to believe that they are already here. Faith activates what logic cannot. Right now, as you read these words, the countdown continues. Each heartbeat echoes heaven's call. If your spirit feels this tug, it means the message is yours. This is not general. This is specific. Heaven knows your name, your pain, your prayers, and your potential. And now, heaven has sent help. Take a deep breath. Chosen one, lift your eyes. Whisper, I receive. That small act of faith breaks barriers in the unseen. That is your response. Heaven counts it as obedience. Now, before the clock strikes, I want you to take one small step of faith. If this message resonates in your spirit, if you know it was meant for you, then comment the prophetic number 777 below as a sign that you receive divine alignment. Like, share, and subscribe so that you remain under the flow of these heavenly revelations. You are not just connecting with a message, you are connecting with a movement of heaven. Your rescue has already begun. The two angels have taken flight. The question is no longer, will God move? The question is, will you respond in time? The heavens open wider above you. Chosen one, the moment you whispered your quiet, yes, the atmosphere shifted. What you cannot see with your eyes is already trembling in the unseen. To radiant beings, clothed in light that no darkness can imitate, descend through dimensions unknown to man. The air itself bends to their authority. These are not mere symbols or distant ideas. These are the two angels sent by God, carrying your rescue, your restoration, and your release. They move with purpose, not hesitation. One glows with the hue of mercy, soft yet fierce, holding the fragrance of heaven's compassion. The other burns like fire, every motion slicing through shadows that once clung to your path. Their wings do not flap as ours would imagine. They unfold like light waves, rippling through the spiritual atmosphere, leaving trails of divine authority in their wake. They are sent specifically for you, marked, named, and known. Heaven has watched you. Chosen one, every tear shed in solitude was gathered. Every sigh was documented. Every moment you nearly gave up became part of heaven's case for intervention. The angel's descent is not casual, it is a verdict. The courtroom of heaven has ruled in your favor. God himself has spoken, and his word has summoned the rescue mission you now witness in spirit. You may wonder, why me? Why now? Because heaven always moves at the intersection of surrender and readiness. You have reached both. The wilderness you've endured was not punishment, it was training ground. The fire you walked through was refining, not rejection. You had to lose what could not go with you into your next level, so that when these two angels arrived, they would find you light enough to lift. Their voices carry frequencies that creation recognizes. Trees bow, winds still, and silence itself listens. The first angel speaks not in words, but in knowing, transmitting into your spirit memories of divine promises once whispered over your life. You feel waves of peace begin to flood through you. Suddenly, fear loosens its grip. You understand that what once felt like abandonment was actually divine setup. Heaven was aligning timelines for this exact moment. You may feel a gentle pressure on your shoulders, a warmth near your face, or tears forming without sorrow. These are not emotions, they are confirmations. Your spirit recognizes what your mind cannot yet define. You are in the presence of what has been promised since before you were born. The second angel stands silently beside the first. But the silence is not emptiness, it is power restrained. This angel carries divine authority for warfare. The sword gleaming in its hand is not steel, it is pure revelation, forged in heaven's fire. One swing from that sword can sever years of oppression, cancel demonic contracts, and dissolve curses spoken over generations. You can sense it, your lineage trembles, because deliverance is now in motion. Chosen one, you are not just being comforted, you are being claimed. The kingdom of heaven has drawn its boundary lines around you. No enemy can cross them. The rescue mission is not a temporary relief. It is a permanent reclamation. Heaven is taking back what was stolen, restoring what was broken, reviving what was declared dead. This is the moment when faith becomes sight, not because you see the angels with your eyes, but because your heart finally sees truth. You begin to understand that everything, every heartbreak, every delay, every unanswered question has been pointing to this. Heaven never forgot your address. The divine messengers arriving now are proof. The Spirit confirms through Psalm chapter 91, verse 11. He will command his angels to guard you in all your ways. This verse is not distant history, it is happening now. You are witnessing the manifestation of that promise in real time. God has commanded his angels concerning you, not as a distant gesture of protection, but as an immediate act of rescue. They are here because his word cannot return void. They are here because your destiny demanded reinforcement. So, be still in your soul. Let your heart rest in the knowledge that heaven is no longer observing from afar. It has entered your situation. The first angel extends its hand, and invisible bonds begin to disintegrate. You are being released from unseen restraints, patterns that once dictated your emotions, fears that used to cage your faith. The second angel raises its weapon toward the darkness that plotted against you. A low hum fills the air, followed by the silent thunder of divine justice. The old assignments of destruction are cancelled. If you listen with the ears of your spirit, you can hear it, a new rhythm echoing from heaven's heart toward yours. It is the sound of restoration, of divine order being rewritten in your favor. The air grows dense with divine electricity. Chosen one, the angels have not come merely to comfort you, they have come to activate you. Their descent marks the turning point of your story. You have been rescued not just to survive, but to rise. The presence that surrounds you now is not meant to make you feel safe only. It is meant to awaken your purpose. Heaven is no longer whispering. It is roaring through every fiber of your being, calling you to remember who you are. The first angel steps forward, and light pours from its form like liquid fire. It gazes into your soul, not with judgment, but with remembrance. In its eyes, you see fragments of your own destiny, moments of strength you've forgotten, battles you've already won, promises you've allowed to fade beneath the noise of this world. The angel does not speak in language, but in revelation. You simply know, heaven has not come to pity you, it has come to reignite you. You begin to feel something shift inside your chest, that small, sacred space between fear and faith begins to vibrate. The angel's light touches it, and suddenly, the heavy layers of doubt begin to peel away. You realize that all the pain, every disappointment, was never wasted. Heaven was using it to sharpen your discernment, to strengthen your endurance, to teach you what real faith feels like when everything else is gone. Then the second angel, the one carrying the sword of divine authority, steps forward. The sword glows like the dawn breaking through endless night. It raises the blade toward the heavens, and the air trembles. This gesture is not a threat, but a declaration. It's as though the angel is announcing to every dark force that your rescue has reached completion, that you are now under heaven's jurisdiction. Heaven confirms this through Romans chapter 8, verse 37. In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. This is not poetry. Chosen one, this is your identity. You are not barely surviving. You are more than a conqueror. Even when life pressed you to the edge, you didn't fall apart. You transformed. You were being molded into someone darkness could no longer intimidate. This is what the angels came to remind you of. The first angel lowers its hand, touching the space just above your heart, sealing that truth within you. A warmth begins to flow through your body, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. The light within you starts to respond to heaven's frequency. You realize that you are not just receiving rescue, you are becoming a beacon of rescue for others. The pain you survived becomes the oil of your purpose. The wounds that once silenced you now release wisdom that can heal nations. Do you feel that chosen one, that trembling? That's not fear, it's activation. The angel's presence is stirring your spirit awake. You are remembering what it feels like to carry heaven's fire. Now, at this exact moment, heaven is asking for a small act of acknowledgement, a declaration that seals this encounter. In the comments below, I want you to write 4 words that hold power beyond the screen. I rise again. Write it not as repetition but as revelation. When you type those words, you're not posting for others, you're proclaiming to the unseen. You're marking the moment when resurrection began in your life. Heaven watches your obedience, not your eloquence. Those 3 words are your spiritual signature, the proof that you have heard and answered heaven's call. Because every time a chosen one declares, I rise again, a tremor moves through the kingdom of darkness. It's not just a phrase, it's a decree. It means the pit failed. It means the betrayal didn't end you. It means the angel's mission succeeded. The light grows brighter around you now. You are no longer surrounded by despair, but by promise. The angels begin to ascend slightly, wings expanding, signaling that their first phase of rescue is complete. You have been found, restored, and reminded. This moment will echo through your future. You will look back one day and say, that was the moment heaven moved. Not because something external changed instantly, but because something internal did. The greatest rescue was not the angels coming down, it was your spirit waking up. Now, breathe deeply. The light remains with you. The words have sealed your breakthrough. You, chosen one, are no longer lost in waiting. You are walking in becoming. The stillness that follows is sacred. The air feels alive, charged with the residue of heaven's movement. The angels do not speak, yet their silence carries weight. You stand between worlds, feeling the tension of transformation, no longer who you were, not yet who you will be. This in-between is holy ground. You sense it. Heaven has not finished its work. The first angel, radiant and gentle, steps forward once more. The light surrounding it has changed, softer now. like dawn instead of lightning. Its wings brush the air, scattering particles of golden light that seem to cling to your skin. You realize it's not dust, it's anointing. Every touch of that light is rewriting your story, healing fractures in your spirit that you didn't even know existed. The angel is restoring what life, loss, and loneliness tried to erase. For years, you carried burdens that were never meant to be yours. You tried to fix what only God could mend, tried to save what was never meant to stay. The weight of responsibility and pain molded you, but it also exhausted you. The first angel carries heaven's permission slip for release. It's as though God himself is saying, "You can lay it down now. You no longer have to prove your worth through endurance. The very fact that you are still standing is proof enough of your strength." In the silence, your memories begin to stir. You see flashes of moments, prayers whispered through tears, nights spent questioning if God had forgotten you. But as these scenes replay, they feel different. The pain is still visible, but the sting is gone. Grace has entered the memories, transforming them into testimonies. You can now see that heaven was working behind every unanswered question, behind every delay, behind every heartbreak. The second angel watches you closely. Its presence is fierce, but not frightening. The flames that crown its being now flicker in rhythm with your heartbeat, as if heaven itself is sinking to your pulse. You feel the weight of divine purpose pressing gently against your chest. There's something being written upon your heart, not words, but a knowing. The angel moves closer, and you feel the authority that radiates from it. It carries the essence of divine order, a reminder that chaos is never the final word. When God sends his messengers, he sends them to restore what disorder tried to dismantle. You sense this restoration taking shape inside you. Clarity replacing confusion, courage replacing hesitation, faith replacing fear. And then, from within the stillness, Scripture rises in your spirit like a whisper carried on light. You recall the timeless assurance written long ago in Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. These words unfold around you like a living promise. You realize you were never truly alone in any storm. God was always there, not preventing the fire, but protecting you in it. The angel's presence is the evidence of that truth. Heaven never abandoned you in the flood. It was building a bridge beneath your feet the whole time. Tears begin to gather in your eyes, not from sorrow, but from recognition. You are finally seeing your journey through heaven's eyes. Every valley was an altar. Every detour was direction. Every heartbreak was holy instruction. The angels nod, as if affirming your realization. The pain did not break you, it birthed you. The air feels lighter now. The pressure of transition is still there, but it no longer hurts. It hums with divine purpose. The angels exchange glances not of farewell, but of readiness. The mission is unfolding step by step. And this chapter of your rescue marks the restoration of your identity. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are evidence of divine intervention. The world may see scars, but heaven sees seals, marks of survival that prove you've been touched by grace. The field of light begins to fade from your vision, replaced once again by the stillness of your surroundings. yet nothing feels the same. The ground beneath you vibrates with unseen strength. You realize that the rescue is not just happening around you, it's happening inside you. You stand taller now, not because the struggle is gone, but because you finally know who walks beside you. The angels remain, silent but near, and in your spirit, peace has settled like morning dew, quiet, steady, and sure. The light softens around you now. Chosen one, as if heaven itself takes a gentle breath, you stand in the aftermath of glory, not exhausted, but quieted. The rescue has begun to weave through every layer of your being. And now, the angels stand at rest. Their wings are lowered, their gaze fixed upon you. You feel it. This is the calm after the storm. The pause before purpose expands. It's strange, isn't it? How peace feels heavier than battle sometimes. After so many years of running, striving, and praying through tears, stillness can almost feel unfamiliar. Yet this is exactly what heaven planned to teach you, that victory doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it sits with you in the quiet and says, "You made it. Les, you are the survivor of invisible wars. Every scar upon your heart is a doorway for grace." And as the angels watch, they see something forming around you, a glow that mirrors their own. You were never just rescued, you were transformed into a vessel of light. The first angel speaks softly this time, its voice like a stream flowing through a dry valley. "You have been found faithful. Now, be fruitful." Those words echo in your spirit. Faithful, fruitful, two halves of one divine rhythm. Heaven isn't done, it's only shifting the mission. You are called to become a carrier of what you've received. The Word of God declares through Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." That is why heaven is asking something of you now. Chosen one, when you share your light, you multiply it. When you let your story reach others, heaven reaches through you. The world is full of souls standing on the edge of despair, waiting for a glimmer of hope, waiting for a voice like yours. So when you share this message, you are not promoting a video, you are building a lighthouse. When you like it, you are strengthening the signal of hope so that more wanderers can find their way home. When you subscribe, you are choosing to stay connected to the flow of anointing that heaven is releasing through these words. Each click, each gesture is not about numbers, it's about nourishment. And if you ever feel moved to donate, do it as one would pour oil upon an altar. Every seed sown becomes a candle lit in the darkness, allowing these words, these divine reminders to reach hearts you may never meet, but heaven knows by name. You are not giving away, you are giving forward. You see, generosity is not about amount, it's about alignment. When you give into what feeds your spirit, you are watering the very ground that grows your destiny. The angels see every act of kindness, every seed of support, and they carry it as incense before the throne of God. Nothing offered in sincerity ever goes unseen. Imagine a single candle lighting another one. Spark becomes 2, then 4, then 1,000. That's how heaven moves. Through you, through us, through each act of obedience and love. That's how the kingdom expands, not with fanfare, but with quiet faithfulness. The angels begin to move again, wings unfolding with purpose. The bridge of fire they drew now extends outward across nations, across generations. You are part of something far greater than yourself. You are not a spectator of miracles. You are a vessel of them. Heaven entrusts you with influence because your heart remembers humility. The rescue that began in secret will ripple through others in ways you cannot imagine. Your light will find other lights. Your story will ignite courage in souls who thought they were too broken to matter. And as you shine, the darkness will retreat, not because you fight it, but because you outshine it. This is the rhythm of heaven. Receive, radiate, restore. The angels look upon you as if to say, carry this well. And you will, because you now understand your life is no longer about survival. It is about service. Your pain became purpose, and your purpose became power. The air shifts once more, warm and alive. The angels begin to ascend again, leaving traces of golden dust behind them, reminders that heaven's fingerprints are still on your life. You look upward, and your heart whispers, gratitude. The rescue is not over, it is only expanding. You are not alone in carrying it forward. You are part of heaven's chain reaction of light. And even as the silence returns, you know what to do. Shine, build, give, love. Because in doing so, you are not just responding to heaven, you are partnering with it. The angels have ascended higher now, but their presence still lingers, like perfume in the air. You can feel it, that hum of divinity, that quiet assurance that heaven has not left. The rescue has transitioned into revelation. What began as deliverance is now turning into destiny. The silence that surrounds you is not emptiness, it's preparation. You stand at the edge of the next instruction. Heaven watches closely. The first angel's voice echoes faintly, like a melody carried on wind. The moment is not over, it is unfolding. You feel those words settle deep within you. Every miracle is a process, not an instant. Heaven doesn't rush, it refines. The light of your calling is expanding slowly, like dawn creeping across the horizon. This is the sacred rhythm of grace measured, intentional, unstoppable. The ground beneath you feels steady now. You realize that peace has weight, not heavy like burden, but grounding like roots. The rescue was not meant to lift you into the clouds, but to anchor you in faith. The angels have established a divine foundation under your feet. And now, heaven is about to build upon it. A quiet whisper rises in your heart. Do you trust me? You know that voice. It's the same one that comforted you in nights of despair. The same one that spoke when no one else understood. Trust. That word carries power. Trust means walking forward even when the map fades. Trust means believing that the same God who sent angels for you will now send opportunities, connections, and clarity at the right time. But this stage, this holy calm, is where most souls falter, because it feels silent. They assume heaven has stopped speaking. But silence is not absence, it's incubation. God hides his greatest works in quiet spaces. That's what the angels want you to know. What's next requires peace, not panics. The second angel reappears momentarily in your spirit's vision, its eyes burning with fierce compassion. It holds a small scroll, rolled in silver light. You sense it contains instruction not for your rescue, but for your rise. The angel unfolds it, and words of light spill forth into the atmosphere. You can feel them enter your spirit one by one, not as commands, but as understanding. You realize now that heaven is entrusting you with influence. You were rescued to become a rescuer. The pain that once silenced you will soon become your testimony's roar. You will speak life into others, the way heaven has spoken into you. The sacred texts of old remind us through Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. End of 2. These words aren't a gentle suggestion, they are a spiritual key. Trust is the gateway to destiny. You cannot step into what's next while clinging to what's familiar. The angel's mission was never only to lift you out of danger, but to pull you beyond comfort. And now, heaven waits for your faith to match your calling. Look around your life. Chosen one. The very places that once felt barren are beginning to shift. People are changing. Doors are stirring. Atmospheres are aligning. Heaven is rearranging your surroundings to match your assignment. You may not see the full picture yet, but you can sense movement beneath the surface, like seeds breaking open underground before they bloom. The angels have not left. They've taken new positions. One stands before you, clearing paths. The other stands behind, sealing the gates of your past. You are protected from what was and guided into what will be. That is the double portion of divine guardianship, forward and backward, beginning and end. You stand now in the tension between obedience and manifestation. The angels wait for your confirmation, your small but powerful act of agreement. Heaven doesn't demand perfection, it simply desires participation. When you say yes, the plan continues. When you trust, the doors open wider. And now, heaven requests something simple but prophetic, an act of recognition, not a long prayer, not a complex ritual, just a sign, a number that carries weight in the spirit. 888. Comment 888 below as your declaration that you trust the unfolding. That number symbolizes new beginnings, divine alignment, and triple completion. Father, Son, and Spirit moving in harmony on your behalf. When you write it, you're not typing digits, you're marking your timeline with faith. It's your way of saying, I trust what I cannot yet see. Oh, when heaven sees faith, it accelerates destiny. The angels take your obedience as permission to advance. Even now, they are carrying reports of your faith before the throne. Every act of surrender echoes through eternity. You may not realize it, but your quiet yes is shaking realms. The same way a whisper can start a storm, your faith can birth miracles that ripple across generations. This is not the end of your rescue, it is the continuation of your awakening. So breathe. Chosen one. Let go of the need to understand and embrace the grace to trust. The angels stand guard. The plan is in motion. The divine scroll is unrolling with your name written in light across its surface. The stillness deepens again. Chosen one. It is no longer the silence of waiting. It is the silence of sacred unfolding. The angels remain unseen, but their presence feels woven into the very air. You can sense them circling the perimeter of your life, guarding every vulnerable place. The rescue has shifted from the dramatic to the delicate, from fire to breath, from thunder to whisper. You stand now in a season of revelation. Heaven is not only saving you from what was, it is showing you what is to come. The light surrounding your journey no longer feels distant. It feels personal. almost intimate, like God Himself has leaned in closer. You begin to understand that this entire process, every divine interruption, has been about relationship, not performance. The first angel, the one clothed in mercy, appears again in your spirit's eye. Its light glows softly, carrying a fragrance of renewal. You notice that it no longer looks as it did before. Its wings shimmer in hues of gold and silver, a sign that the rescue is evolving into restoration. The angel places its hand upon your chest, not heavy, but steady and immediately. Old tension begins to release. The heaviness you once carried starts dissolving, not because the circumstances are gone, but because the weight of them no longer belongs to you. In this holy moment, your breath steadies. You begin to hear the rhythm of heaven's heartbeat within your own. The realization comes suddenly. The goal of the rescue was never to return you to normal, it was to make you new. The Spirit spoke through the writings of Psalm. Chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. End quote. And now, morning has come. You are standing at the threshold of joy. It doesn't shout or dance. It simply hums through your bones, quiet, constant, undeniable. You begin to realize that joy is not the absence of pain, it's the presence of purpose. You have discovered meaning in what once felt meaningless. The angels step back, allowing the weight of revelation to settle. You are no longer merely the rescued, you are the renewed. The parts of you that were shattered have been reassembled in divine order. Every broken piece fits perfectly now, reflecting light in directions it never could before. There is something profoundly holy about the aftermath of deliverance. It's like standing in the ruins of what tried to destroy you and realizing it only cleared space for new growth. The angels watch as you begin to understand this. You are stronger, wiser, and softer all at once. That is heaven's kind of transformation, not a replacement of who you were, but a refinement into who you were always meant to be. In the quiet, a breeze stirs not a natural wind, but a spiritual one. You sense the Holy Spirit breathing over your life, awakening dormant gifts, ideas, and callings. The things you thought were dead are beginning to stir beneath the soil. You were never buried, you were planted. And now, heaven whispers, grow. The two angels begin to circle you, moving like light in motion, their wings forming a sphere of protection. You can feel it, the establishment of something permanent. The rescue was the beginning, but the covenant is the continuation. You are marked now, not just for survival, but for stewardship. Heaven has invested grace in you, and that grace will multiply through your obedience. Every word spoken against you, every moment that tried to convince you that you were forgotten, now falls silent in the presence of divine truth. The heavens have rewritten your identity. You are chosen, anointed, and covered. As the angels rise slightly, their light scatters like sparks across your timeline. You see glimpses of future moments, faces you will bless, lives you will touch, battles you will help others win. It all makes sense now. Your rescue was not just for you, it was for the generations tied to your obedience. The angel's final glance carries both love and expectation. Their mission continues, but their posture shifts from protectors to partners. They will not depart. They will walk beside you in unseen ways, ensuring that every step ahead aligns with divine timing. The light around you fades to stillness again, but this time it feels complete, not empty, not quiet, whole. The rescue has matured into revelation, and revelation has become responsibility. Heaven has handed you the keys. Chosen one, not just to survive, but to steward light in a darkened world. And as peace settles like a crown upon your head, the angels whisper one last truth into your spirit. Morning has begun. Oh, the air carries a softer light now. Chosen one, the chaos has subsided, leaving only a deep, resonant calme. The battlefield of your soul lies still, not because there was no war, but because heaven has declared victory. The angel's presence remains, subtle yet undeniable, like the scent of rain long after the storm. Their silence does not mean departure, it means completion. You begin to walk. The ground beneath your feet feels different, almost alive. Every step vibrates with quiet assurance. This path is new. You have never walked it before. The old roads, the ones paved with fear and uncertainty, no longer exist. The rescue has closed those gates permanently. Ahead of you lies uncharted territory, but instead of dread, you feel anticipation. The first angel moves beside you, its light forming a faint trail through the air. It doesn't lead you, it walks with you. Heaven no longer drags you out of danger, it now journeys alongside you toward destiny. This is what partnership feels like. You are no longer a bystander in your own story, you are a participant in heaven's unfolding plan. You pause for a moment and look behind you. The distance between who you were and who you are becoming feels infinite. The memories of pain still linger, but they no longer define you. They serve as markers, proof that grace carried you further than effort ever could. You understand now that every hardship was holy ground in disguise. The suffering wasn't wasted, it sculpted your discernment, sharpened your faith, and strengthened your compassion. The second angel walks slightly ahead, scanning the unseen realm. Its sword remains sheathed, but you sense readiness in its stance. It is not guarding you from enemies now, it is preparing the way for purpose. Every obstacle that once intimidated you trembles at its presence. You are entering territory that was once locked by fear, but the keys now rest in your hands. A faint wind passes through, carrying words too ancient for language, yet perfectly clear in your spirit. You are safe. The assurance seeps into you, layer by layer, undoing years of anxiety and mistrust. You finally understand, safety is not the absence of danger, but the presence of divine authority. You remember how you used to fight to be seen, to be understood, to be accepted. But now, the approval of heaven overshadows the opinions of men. The angel's light reflects your worth back to you, not based on what you've done, but on who you've always been chosen, appointed, sealed. As you walk through this divine landscape, your senses heighten. You can feel the pulse of creation responding to heaven's alignment. The wind carries whispers of promise. The earth hums with quiet praise. Even time itself seems to bow to this sacred moment. Everything in creation recognizes the mark upon you. Heaven's signature written across your spirit. A memory rises, one of your lowest moments, when you thought God had gone silent. Now, as you replay it in your mind, you see the truth. Angels were there then too. Their hands were unseen, but they steadied you when your strength faltered. They caught the tears. You thought no one noticed. Even in your rebellion, heaven was merciful. Even in your distance, love was relentless. You realize, with trembling awe, that rescue was not a single event. It was a lifelong pursuit. God has been chasing you through storms, through failures, through silence. And now that you have stopped running, heaven stands still with you. The words of Scripture come alive in your mind, gentle yet resolute. From Psalm, chapter 121, verse 8. The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. The verse wraps around you like a cloak of assurance. Every step forward is protected. Every transition is guided. You are no longer walking into uncertainty. You are walking within promise. The angel's wings shimmer once more, and light falls upon the path ahead. You begin to see glimpses of what's coming, not in detail, but in rhythm. There will be challenges, yes, but also great purpose. There will be moments of testing, but even greater triumphs. The same God who sent angels to rescue you will send wisdom to sustain you. This is not the end of divine intervention. It's the beginning of divine companionship. Heaven no longer operates around you. It now operates through you. The peace that surrounds you is not fragile. It is fortified by eternal promise. You take another step, and the path glows brighter. The angels walk silently beside you, guardians and witnesses of a new chapter unfolding. What once began as a rescue has become a revelation of relationship between Creator and creation, between heaven and earth, between divinity and destiny. There is a stillness. Chosen one, unlike any you felt before. It is not the hush of uncertainty, it is the quiet of fulfillment. You have crossed from rescue into revelation. And now heaven begins to reveal the deeper reason behind it all. What happened to you was never random, it was rehearsal. Every heartbreak, every hidden season, every cry you thought went unanswered, all of it was preparation for this very hour. The angels remain nearby. Their glow softer now, almost blending into the light around you. They do not need to speak. Their presence itself communicates purpose. The rescue was never meant to end with relief. It was meant to produce revelation. And revelation always leads to responsibility. Heaven does not save you simply to protect you. It saves you to send you. The first angel extends its hand, and a faint ripple appears in the air, a vision unfolding before your eyes. You see yourself standing before others, not as the wounded, but as the witness. People who are trapped in darkness begin to look toward you, drawn not to perfection, but to authenticity. They see the scars, but they also see the light behind them. They recognize the same pain they carry, but they also recognize the same power that lifted you out. This is your ministry. Chosen one, not a pulpit, but a life that preaches. You were never meant to keep your deliverance private. Every word you speak, every act of kindness, every quiet moment of forgiveness, all of it becomes prophecy in motion. You are heaven's evidence that light wins, that mercy still finds the lost, that grace still chooses the broken. Heaven's truth whispers through your soul again, timeless and certain, through Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good. We will reap if we do not give up. Those words fall like oil upon weary places in your heart. They remind you, that the process has purpose, that your endurance was not wasted. The harvest is not a distant dream, it's already forming. Heaven is aligning everything in your life for divine timing, and the angels are the guardians of that timing. But now, heaven asks something simple yet sacred, not as a command, but as confirmation. If you feel this truth resonating inside you, if you know this moment carries your name, type these 3 words in the comments: I won't quit. No, it's not just a sentence, it's a spiritual stand. Those words are your covenant with heaven, your declaration that you will keep going even when it's quiet, even when it's hard, even when others don't understand. Every time you speak them, the atmosphere shifts. The angels record it as testimony. The chosen one endures. Your declaration becomes a sound in the spirit, a roar of persistence that terrifies the darkness. Because nothing frightens the enemy more than a believer who refuses to stop. You have already overcome battles that were meant to bury you. Your faith, though shaken, has not broken, and now heaven crowns your endurance with grace. The first angel's light intensifies for a moment, then pours into your heart like liquid gold. The heaviness that once made breathing difficult is gone. In its place, peace, the kind that cannot be explained, only experienced. The angel's touch doesn't remove your memories, it redeems them. Every scar becomes a window through which others can see God's faithfulness. The second angel raises its sword once more, this time not to fight, but to bless. The flame leaps higher, stretching toward the heavens as a signal, mission accomplished. Yet ongoing, rescue has birthed revelation, and revelation is now birthing responsibility. You are ready to carry the flame forward. In your spirit, you sense a commissioning. Heaven's words resonate deep within. Go, but not alone. The angels will walk with you into every assignment. Their wings will shelter. Their light will guide. Their fire will defend. What once pursued you will now flee from you. You take a deep breath. The light feels familiar now, not overwhelming, but empowering. You understand that you are no longer waiting for God to move. You are now moving with Him. The countdown continues, but it no longer feels urgent. It feels divine. The angels bow slightly, and their glow begins to merge with yours. You are no longer just the one being rescued. You are now the light that rescues others. Heaven smiles through them, and your journey takes a new breath. And as the air settles, peace expands like a sunrise. The story is not over. It is just beginning. The light shifts again. Chosen one. It is gentler now, not the piercing blaze of rescue, but the golden glow of purpose. The angels no longer stand as warriors or messengers alone. They stand as witnesses. Heaven has seen your endurance, your faith, your quiet obedience. And now the next phase begins. Influence. You feel it before you see it, a stirring deep inside, like rivers beginning to move beneath the surface. Heaven is awakening your gifts. Every lesson you've endured becomes a seed, and the soil of your story is now ready for harvest. The angels step back, allowing you to sense what God is doing. He is not only healing you, He is commissioning you. This season is not about hiding anymore. It's about shining. You have been refined like gold, and gold cannot stay buried. Heaven will now use you to reach others who feel forgotten, to speak life where silence has taken root, The word of the Lord echoes through 2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 8. God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things you will abound in every good work. That verse is not a promise of comfort, but a call to abundance with purpose. Heaven's blessings are not meant to end with you, they are meant to flow through you. The angels understand this divine economy. What you receive, you release. What you give, multiplies. This is the rhythm of heaven: generosity as worship, giving as alignment, blessing as overflow. The first angel gestures toward the horizon, and suddenly you see countless lamps flickering across the darkness. Each light represents a soul searching, a heart waiting for the message of hope you now carry. They are not far away, they are near, waiting for a spark from your flame. When you share light, you do not lose it, you multiply it. So when you share this message, imagine it as releasing a lantern into the night sky. Someone, somewhere, will see that glow and find direction again. When you like this message, it's like striking a match, a simple gesture, yet one that signals heaven. Yes, I'm part of this flame. And when you subscribe, you're not just following, you're connecting to a flow of divine revelation. Every time you return, you step back into the atmosphere where heaven speaks and angels move. And if you ever feel led to donate, understand this: it's not a transaction, it's a translation. You are translating gratitude into movement, turning belief into blessing. Think of it as planting a vineyard. The seed may leave your hand, but it never leaves your life. It grows roots in unseen soil, nurtured by the same hands that sent these angels to you. Every seed becomes fruit, not only for you, but for others who will one day sit under the shade of your generosity. The angels nod, as if approving this rhythm of heaven's giving. They understand that generosity is the purest language of love, not obligation, but overflow. God's abundance was never meant to be hoarded. It was meant to be shared. Like rain that never questions where it falls. In the Spirit, you see a vision. The first angel holds a jar filled with light, pouring it into a river. As it does, the water begins to shimmer, and that light travels downstream, illuminating places you cannot see. That is what happens when you give, when you speak, when you share. The light leaves your hand, but not your influence. The second angel steps forward, its presence both tender and strong. It points toward you, and you notice a glow forming in your hands. The same light heaven once used to rescue you now lives within you. You are no longer a receiver of miracles, only you are a carrier of them. You realize now that generosity is not measured in currency alone. It's measured in willingness to give your voice, your encouragement, your faith, your love. Even a word spoken in faith can alter the course of another person's night. The angels smile because they know heaven's currency is compassion. And as the vision fades, you feel a sacred warmth filling your chest. It is not just gratitude, it's partnership. You and heaven are co-laborers now. Every act of kindness, every gesture of support, every moment of faith becomes part of the kingdom's movement. So when you give, when you engage, when you extend your hand, know this: heaven notices, heaven multiplies, heaven moves. The air grows lighter, and the angels' wings unfold once again. Their eyes gleam with joy, for they see what you cannot, the ripple effect of your obedience spreading far beyond your reach. You stand at the center of divine momentum, chosen not just to be blessed, but to be a blessing. And as the light expands outward, you sense it, the unmistakable peace of alignment. You are in sync with heaven's rhythm now. The flow continues, the flame endures, and the angels ascend, not away from you, but around you, circling your purpose with unending favor. The angels remain near, chosen, one, but their glow is softer now, not distant, but woven into the atmosphere itself. You no longer see them as separate from you. You feel their presence moving in rhythm with your heartbeat. Heaven's frequency has become familiar. The divine no longer feels unreachable. It feels intertwined with every breath you take. You walk along a path illuminated by the aftermath of obedience. Every step forward releases faint ripples of light, as if heaven records your motion in living script. The ground remembers your surrender, and the air hums with it. You sense it deeply. Your journey has shifted from being rescued to becoming refined. You are no longer the one waiting for miracles. You are the miracle unfolding. The first angel walks beside you, its wings folded close. Its voice, when it comes, is gentle yet vast. You are learning the language of peace. The words echo inside you like a slow-moving river. Peace is not silence. Peace is understanding without needing explanation. It's the steady awareness that God is in every detail, even the ones that seem unfinished. A faint whisper travels through the unseen, steady and alive, a verse engraved upon eternity itself. It is written in Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. The words settle into your spirit like sunlight through stained glass. You realize, with quiet awe, that heaven never starts what it does not intend to finish. Every delay, every detour, every unanswered prayer, all of it is still within the design. You are not behind, you are being built. The process has been divine from the beginning. The second angel's eyes meet yours. Where once you saw fire, now you see reflection as though it mirrors your own light back to you. You are beginning to resemble the one who sent us. It says without words, the truth stirs something sacred in you. You were not rescued to remain dependent. You were rescued to reflect. The image of heaven is taking shape within you. Your thoughts grow still. You realize that transformation is not always visible. Sometimes it hides in your choices, in the way you respond differently to the same trials that once broke you. You no longer react from fear, you respond from wisdom. The angels recognize it, this quiet strength, born of endurance. The landscape around you begins to change again. You see signs of life, new trees budding, streams flowing where once there was dryness. It feels symbolic, as though creation itself mirrors your renewal. The once barren places within you are blooming. Hope, once fragile, now stands firm like roots gripping the soil. The first angel gestures toward the horizon. This is the middle. It seems to say, not the beginning, not the end, but the proving ground. The middle is where faith matures. The middle is where heaven watches, not for your perfection, but for your persistence. You feel heaven's gentle smile upon you, a smile that says, you're growing beautifully. You stop walking and listen. The wind carries faint melodies, whispers of promises not yet seen, prayers not yet answered, but alive nonetheless. You feel your heart beat in sync with eternity. Every pulse is a reminder that God has not only rescued you, but entrusted you. The second angel kneels briefly, pressing its hand against the ground. The earth responds a shimmer, a vibration, a pulse of light that radiates outward. You sense it moving into the corners of your life, touching relationships, dreams, and unanswered questions. What once felt disconnected is now being rewoven by unseen hands. You lift your gaze, and for a moment, you glimpse your reflection in the air, light upon light, image upon image. You are no longer just the recipient of miracles, you are part of the miracle itself. You carry traces of heaven wherever you go. The angel's wings extend slightly, framing you like a seal of divine approval. This is what becoming looks like, not loud, not rushed, but éternel. Heaven is patient because heaven is sure. The rescue was sudden, but refinement takes time. You are walking within that holy time now, where every step is sacred and every breath is grace. The angels fade softly into the horizon, their work continuing in the unseen, yet their essence remains, echoing a single truth through your spirit. What God began, He will finish. That the horizon glows softly. Chosen one. The air feels charged with a gentle expectancy, as though heaven itself leans in, waiting for your next heartbeat. The angels are quieter now, but their energy hums through everything around you. You are no longer the trembling soul being rescued. You are the awakened one, standing steady in divine alignment. The journey has brought you here, to this moment of awareness where heaven's rhythm matches your own. You have moved through fear, through fire, through silence, and into surrender. Now, peace surrounds you like an invisible garment. The weight of yesterday has fallen away. What remains is the purity of purpose. The first angel, radiant as ever, steps forward. It carries no weapon now, no message written on scrolls. Its hands are empty, and that, you realize, is the message itself. Heaven has already placed everything you need within you. You are no longer waiting for instruction, you are living in it. The angel's eyes hold the calm of eternity as it watches you stand tall. You have become the message, it seems to say, and indeed, you have. Every word of faith you've spoken, every tear transformed into prayer, every silent moment of endurance, they have become the language of heaven through you. You have become living proof that grace is not abstract, that God's rescue is not mythology, but movement. The second angel, the one of fire, appears beside the first. Its flames are softer now, flickering like candlelight rather than a blaze. You realize that its fire no longer burns to destroy it, burns to illuminate. You have learned to carry the flame without fear. You no longer flinch at the heat of transformation because you have discovered that fire, when sent by heaven, refines, not ruins. A whisper rises in your heart, ancient and alive, from Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. These words do not feel like history, they feel like commission. Heaven is commanding your radiance. You are no longer hidden. no longer held hostage by past pain or doubt. The light that once rescued you now radiates from within you. You have become a torch in a dark world, a beacon of grace for others who still wander in silence. You can feel the shift. Heaven is no longer working just for you. It is working through you. The angels' wings unfold once again, stretching wide, their light merging with yours. You stand in the midst of them, glowing with the same essence that once surrounded you. The line between heaven's realm and your reality blurs. You realize that divine partnership has already begun. Now, heaven extends a gentle invitation, not a command, but a sign. If your spirit resonates with this truth, if you feel heaven stirring within you, type the prophetic number 1111 inches, the comments below. That number is not random, it is symbolic. It represents open gates, divine order, and alignment between heaven and earth. When you write it, you are declaring that your life and heaven's timing are synchronized, that what has been promised is being fulfilled. It is your silent amen to what God is doing, even now. When you declare 1111, you are not just participating in a moment, you are acknowledging alignment. You are saying, Heaven, I am ready for what's next. I am open to purpose. I walk in light. The angels take note of every declaration of faith, carrying it as fragrance before the throne. Heaven records not your perfection, but your participation, your willingness to say yes, again and again. The first angel lifts its face toward the sky, and light streams down like golden rain. Each drop that falls around you feels alive, pulsing with blessing. They do not vanish when they touch the earth. They sink deep, becoming seeds of divine fulfillment. Heaven never wastes light, it always plants it. You look upward too, and something extraordinary happens. The stars above seem brighter, closer, as if heaven itself wants to remind you that divine timing is cosmic, not chaotic. Every delay was design. Every silence was strategy. God has never missed a moment. The second angel's flame rises higher once more, swirling gently around you before resting near your heart. The warmth it leaves behind isn't consuming, it's confirming. You are standing exactly where heaven intended all along. The years of confusion were simply training in trust. You are not waiting for destiny anymore. You are walking in it. Every step you take from here on will echo through eternity. The angels will accompany you, sometimes visible in spirit, sometimes hidden in circumstance, but always present. The night no longer feels threatening. It feels holy. The path ahead glows faintly with promise, and you realize the rescue has turned into a rain. You walk not as one seeking validation, but as one carrying revelation, and as the wind brushes against your face, it carries heaven's final whisper for this moment. Shine without hesitation. You are ready. End 1. The night sky stretches above you, endless and alive. There is no fear in the darkness anymore, only wonder. What once felt like shadow now feels like shelter, as though heaven covers you with its vast, protective wings. The angels linger nearby, silent but radiant, their presence woven into the fabric of the atmosphere. You can feel it in every breath. You are not merely walking through the world, you are walking within the will of God. The first angel glides closer, its light reflecting the silver of the stars. The glow around it no longer blinds you, it comforts you. like moonlight on still waters. You can finally meet its gaze without trembling. You've been transformed. The angel sees it too, the shift, the maturity, the peace. Heaven has taken the raw material of your pain and reshaped it into wisdom. There was a time when you prayed only to survive, when all you wanted was for the pain to end. But now, you pray differently. You no longer plead, you partner. You no longer beg for miracles, you become part of them. Heaven's power moves through you now, flowing like a quiet river that no obstacle can stop. The second angel, clothed in fire, steps beside you again. The flames that once symbolized rescue now represent revelation. This angel does not come to fight for you anymore. It stands as a reminder of victory already won. Its eyes, fierce yet kind, hold the same authority that once broke your chains. But now, that authority is reflected in your own. You can sense it. The fire that once surrounded you now burns inside you. There is no more running, no more doubting. You have learned what heaven always wanted you to understand, that strength was never about striving, it was about surrender. When you stopped fighting to control and started trusting to follow, everything changed. The Spirit brings to your remembrance a verse written long ago, one that feels alive in this moment, from Psalm chapter 37, verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Oh, those words echo like a heartbeat. Every step you've taken, even the ones that led through pain, was ordered. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment was guided. You realize that divine order isn't about avoiding difficulty, it's about ensuring destiny. Heaven delights not in your perfection, but in your perseverance. You walk forward again, and the earth beneath your feet responds, glowing faintly with every step. It's as if creation itself acknowledges your obedience. The angel's wings ripple gently, creating a current of light that wraps around you. You understand now that faith is not the absence of storms, it is the ability to walk calmly through them, knowing heaven goes before you. The first angel speaks, its voice like music layered with eternity. You are walking in rhythm with heaven now. This is what alignment feels like, not striving, not forcing, but flowing. The words fill the air, and your spirit recognizes their truth. You remember all the moments when you doubted yourself, the times you thought you were too broken, too flawed, too late. Yet now, standing in this light, you realize that your imperfections were the very invitations heaven used to enter your story. Grace is not offended by weakness, it is attracted to it. The fire from the second angel flares briefly, illuminating the landscape around you. You see what lies ahead, mountains and valleys, sunlight and shadow, and yet, for the first time, none of it intimidates you. The terrain of destiny is not smooth, but you are no longer afraid of the climb. You were built for this. Heaven has equipped you for every height and every depth. The angels exchange a glance, one of satisfaction, as though a sacred mission is reaching its fulfillment. You feel it too. The rescue that began in desperation has now matured into transformation. The light that once surrounded you has settled within. You are no longer waiting for divine intervention. You are walking as divine expression. A soft wind moves through the space around you, stirring the edges of your garment. It feels symbolic, the breath of God moving upon the next chapter. You close your eyes for a moment and sense heaven's rhythm. the steady pulse of purpose moving through your veins. You are not who you were when this began. The fear that once held you captive has been replaced by clarity. You finally see the pattern. Every trial was training. Every loss was leading. Every silence was sacred. When you open your eyes, the angels are still there. But they stand at a distance now, not because they are leaving, but because you no longer need their visible nearness. You carry their presence within you. You carry heaven's assurance in your every step. The night is deep, but your light is steady. The stars shimmer as though applauding your endurance. The world is quiet, but the spirit realm sings. The two angels stand like sentinels on either side of your path, their wings casting faint shadows that move like water. You walk forward without hesitation. The future is not a mystery anymore. It is a promise unfolding. And though the journey ahead may hold challenges, you know now that the one who orders your steps has already walked before you. The air feels weightless. Chosen one. Every step you take now seems to echo softly in eternity. You are no longer walking through darkness, but through divine rhythm, each movement guided by unseen hands, each breath aligned with heaven's song. The angels remain nearby, but they no longer lead or guard. They accompany. You have become their equal in obedience, a co-laborer in the divine narrative unfolding before you. The landscape has changed again. The sky carries the faint blush of dawn, that delicate moment when night yields to light. When silence prepares to give birth to sound, it mirrors what is happening inside you. The long night of struggle is over, yet the new day has not fully bloomed. You stand in the space between what was and what will be the sacred threshold of transformation. The first angel glides closer. Its radiance is softer now, almost human in its gentleness. You are no longer waiting for heaven. It whispers, because heaven now moves within you. The words vibrate through your bones like truth remembered rather than newly learned. You understand. The rescue that began outside of you has taken root within. The light you once sought is now the pulse of your spirit. There is a peace that comes only after surrender, the kind that doesn't silence every question, but anchors you beyond them. That peace surrounds you now. You realize you no longer crave answers, you crave presence. And presence is what you have been given in abundance. The second angel, the one who carries fire, now stands still. The flames around it flickering softly, like the quiet embers of a fire that no longer needs to consume. Its gaze is fixed on you, steady and proud. You can feel the affirmation in its silence. Heaven is pleased. You have endured the testing. You have allowed yourself to be remade. You have not just survived the process, you have been sanctified by it. The spirit within you recalls a promise from the sacred pages, Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Now, you whisper it softly, and the words feel alive. They rise from your chest like smoke from a newly lit flame. Every disappointment begins to make sense. Every closed door begins to shimmer with purpose. You realize that nothing was wasted, not the heartbreaks, not the delays, not even the tears you thought fell into emptiness. Each one had a destination, and now you are walking upon the ground, those tears watered. The first angel gestures toward the horizon. The faint light of dawn expands, turning from gray to gold. It reflects off your skin. reminding you that glory is not an event, it is a process. You have been glowing long before the world noticed. Heaven saw it first. The angels saw it next. Now, creation is beginning to respond. The breeze changes direction, carrying with it the scent of renewal, like rain meeting dry soil. You breathe it in, and something in you settles. You realize you are not chasing destiny anymore. You are embodying it. The difference is profound. You used to look for signs, for confirmations, for proof. Now you walk, knowing that the very act of walking is proof enough. Faith is no longer an effort. It is your essence. The second angel raises its face toward the light. This is the beginning of your authority. It seems to say without words. And deep inside, you understand. You have learned to govern your atmosphere, to speak peace where chaos once ruled, to extend grace where bitterness once grew. The mark of heaven upon you is not perfection, it is peace. You begin to notice the world differently. The trees sway not just with the wind, but with worship. The light reflecting on the ground doesn't just illuminate, it communicates. Creation responds to those who walk in divine awareness. You can feel it. Heaven and earth are no longer separate. They are conversing through you. The angels exchange a silent glance. Their mission evolving once more. They are not leaving, they are watching. Their wings fold close, signaling completion. The rescue has ripened into purpose. The once urgent countdown has melted into eternity's calm assurance. You glance upward one last time, and the sky above you glows like a promise fulfilled. There are no trumpets, no thunder, only the steady heartbeat of peace. Heaven no longer needs to shout to reach you. A whisper is enough. You have learned to hear the sacred in the subtle, the divine in the daily. This is what wholeness feels like, not the absence of struggle, but the unshakable knowing that even in struggle, you are secure. Every wound has turned into wisdom, every delay into direction, every trial into testimony. You have not only been rescued from darkness, you have been reborn into purpose. The angel's final words linger in your spirit like a melody. You are the evidence that heaven still moves. And as the dawn stretches fully across the sky, you step forward not as a survivor, but as one commissioned. The light follows you, not because you chase it, but because you have become it. The dawn now stretches wide across the horizon. Chosen one. The light no longer merely visits you, it abides in you. The air feels warmer, thicker with purpose, and the angels' forms are almost translucent, as though their essence has blended into the light you now carry. You are no longer the rescued, you are the radiant. Heaven looks at you and smiles, not because you are flawless, but because you are faithful. The first angel stands close, its expression peaceful, its wings slightly open. The rescue was never the end. It seems to say, it was the rehearsal for revelation. The words echo through your spirit. Heaven's story is not one chapter of saving and another of sending. It is one continuous flow. What you have received, you are now called to release. You look out across the distance, and suddenly, the vision expands. You see fields stretching beyond the horizon, some lush and green, others dry and waiting. You understand what heaven is showing you. There are souls out there still wandering in the deserts you once walked through. They are waiting for the light you now carry. You have become a torch meant to guide others home. The word of truth rises within you, shimmering like breath on wind. From Luke, chapter 6, verse 38. Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, running over, pour into your lap. Those words are not merely instruction, they are invitation. Heaven invites you to participate in its rhythm of abundance, to give as freely as you've received, to let light flow through you, the way rivers flow from the mountain. Giving is not losing, it is living. When you pour out, heaven pours in. When you bless, heaven multiplies. So when you share this message, you are not sharing a story, you are planting light. Imagine it as releasing doves into the sky. Each share carries a message of hope to someone who may be standing where you once stood, desperate, waiting, needing a sign that heaven still moves. When you like this message, think of it as striking a spark. That small act tells heaven, I agree. Every spark joins another until it becomes a fire of collective faith. When you subscribe, it's like joining a circle of light, staying near the flame, so that the warmth of revelation continues to reach your heart again and again. And if you ever feel led to donate, do it, not out of obligation, but overflow. Imagine your giving as watering a vineyard you may never see in full bloom. Someone else will find fruit from the seeds you've sown, and heaven will remember your faithfulness. Every offering becomes a drop in the river that carries light to others. You're not fueling a message, you're fueling a movement of hope. Generosity is the echo of gratitude. When you pour back into what has poured into you, you join the divine cycle that keeps heaven's river flowing. The angels see every gesture, no matter how small, and record it as worship. Because giving is not about wealth, it's about willingness. Heaven counts the heart, not the amount. The second angel releases a stream of golden light into the air. It swirls around you, rising like mist, then spreading outward across unseen distances. You realize it's symbolic. Every act of generosity creates ripples, touching lives you may never meet. Somewhere, a weary soul will find courage again because you decided to shine. The first angel steps forward, its eyes filled with warmth. You are no longer the one being lifted. It says softly, you are now the one who lifts. The words strike deep, not as burden, but as blessing. You were rescued to become rescue. You were saved to become sender. Heaven moves through human hearts willing to reflect its love. You look once more at the field stretching ahead. The light spilling from your hands seeps into the soil, and almost instantly, sprouts begin to rise vibrant, alive, reaching for heaven. Every seed you've planted, whether in faith, time, or kindness, begins to bloom. It's then you realize you've become part of the kingdom's harvest. As the angels lift their gaze toward the expanding light, you sense their joy. Heaven rejoices, not just in miracles, but in multiplication. The light that started as your rescue has now become your legacy. You are living proof that generosity sustains glory. The day has fully arrived. Chosen one. The light is everywhere now, not a single corner untouched by it. The golden warmth that once felt external now radiates from within you. It's as if heaven has made its home in your very breath. The air feels sacred, each moment heavy with divine meaning. You stand in the center of fulfillment, yet you know this is not the ending. It is the eternal beginning. The angels remain near, Though quieter than before, they no longer need to speak. Their message has already been inscribed upon your heart. You carry it now, every word, every sign, every whisper of divine reassurance. The mission they began in the heavens has been written into your steps on the earth. You are not waiting for purpose anymore. You are walking inside it. The first angel gazes upon you with gentleness that defies description. The journey was never to change who you are, it seems to say, but to reveal who you've always been. The truth of it hums inside you, all along. Heaven was not giving you something new, it was uncovering what had been buried by pain, fear, and doubt. You were not being made into someone different. You were being restored into the image of divine intention. You remember the beginning, the confusion, the chaos, the plea for rescue. You remember feeling small, unseen, fragile. But now, when you look back, you see a pattern, threads of light weaving through even your darkest nights. The angels were there. God was there. Every tear was instruction. Every silence was strategy. Every loss was alignment. Heaven's hand was steady, even when yours trembled. The second angel steps forward. Its fiery aura, now golden and warm, no longer the consuming blaze of battle, but the sustaining flame of purpose. You have learned the art of stillness. It conveys, though its lips never move. You have discovered that waiting was not wasting. It was working. The words rest over you like a mantle. You begin to understand that time itself bends to divine purpose, that even delay is sacred when it belongs to God. Your mind drifts to the sacred text that guided so many before you, and a verse rises in your heart with quiet authority. Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, by his power. Those words feel alive, echoing through the very air around you. They are not a reminder of limitation, but of possibility. Heaven has always planned more than your imagination could contain. You see now that God never measured your worth by your failures, nor your destiny by your detours. His power was working within you, even when you thought he was absent. The first angel gestures toward the horizon. In the distance, mountains rise and rivers flow, symbols of what lies ahead. Life will still bring change, challenge, and choice. Yet now, everything feels different. The unknown no longer intimidates you because you finally trust the one who writes the unknown. The second angel extends its hand, and from its palm flows a ribbon of light that winds around your wrist. It is not restraint but remembrance, a bond between heaven and earth. It reminds you that you are never separated from divine presence, even when you walk into new battles, new assignments, or unfamiliar seasons. The covenant remains. The ground beneath you hums softly, resonating with the same energy that filled creation's first dawn. You feel connected to everything, to heaven above, to earth beneath, to the people, yet to be reached through your obedience. You understand now that your life is not a story about escape, but about expansion. The rescue became revelation, and revelation became representation. You carry heaven wherever you go. The angels begin to rise, their wings unfolding in graceful arcs of light. Yet, their ascent doesn't sadden you. Instead, you feel gratitude. They are not leaving, they are returning to report. Their mission on your behalf is complete, but their companionship continues in spirit. You sense heaven's pleasure, not as applause, but as peace. As they lift higher, the light from their wings spills across the landscape, shimmering like gold dust, settling over everything you've touched. The ground, the air, the horizon, all of it seems to whisper the same truth. It is good. End quote. The sky is alive with quiet color, a soft blend of gold and ivory. The air feels timeless, still humming with the remnants of angelic presence. You stand alone, yet not alone. Everything within you pulses with divine certainty, the understanding that the story written over your life was never about chance but about calling. The rescue has reached its final crescendo, not as an ending, but as a revelation fulfilled. You look around, and everything seems touched by grace. The trees sway like worshippers. The wind moves as if it recognizes you. Creation itself acknowledges your transformation. Once, you cried out for heaven to see you. Now, heaven moves through you. You are no longer searching for signs. You have become one. The miracle that you once waited for has turned into the rhythm of your breath. The first angel materializes once more, not with fire or trumpet, but with a light that feels like peace made visible. Its wings no longer burn. They shimmer. You feel its gaze, warm and knowing, as though it looks not at your flesh, but at the eternal spark within you. You have learned the secret. It seems to whisper. Heaven was never far. It was always inside you. And the truth of those words rests over you like a crown. You think back on every moment, the nights of fear, the unanswered prayers, the trembling faith that refused to die. Each fragment of your story now fits perfectly into heaven's design. You see the full picture, not as a series of random trials, but as a divine orchestration. The rescue, the angels, the countdown, it all had one purpose: to awaken what God had already placed within you before time began. The second angel appears beside the first, its fire subdued into golden light. Its presence no longer feels like protection, but partnership. It carries no sword now. Instead, it carries stillness. The kind of stillness that comes when heaven completes a chapter. You can sense it. The mission for which these two were sent is fulfilled. Yet, rather than farewell, there is blessing. They are not leaving you, they are releasing you. A verse rises in your spirit, not prompted by thought, but by communion. John, chapter 1, verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And that truth vibrates through your being. You realize now the angels didn't just rescue you from darkness, they revealed your light. You are not meant to live afraid of shadow, for light doesn't retreat from darkness, it transforms it. Every room you enter, every heart you touch, will now feel the reflection of this moment, the unyielding radiance of divine purpose. The first angel reaches out, touching your forehead gently. Instantly, warmth spreads across your face, flowing through your mind like oil. Memories begin to shift. The painful ones no longer sting, they shine. They no longer feel like wounds but windows. You understand that heaven doesn't erase your past, it redeems it, turning every scar into a testimony. The second angel kneels, pressing its hand to the ground. The earth responds, glowing faintly under your feet. The territory is blessed. Its gesture declares, every place you walk from this day forward will carry heaven's imprint. You have become a walking sanctuary, a moving piece of eternity placed within time. The angels rise again, their wings expanding, stretching far into the horizon. Their light wraps around you one final time, not as rescue, but as remembrance. You feel no sadness in their departure, only gratitude. They were never meant to stay. They were meant to remind you who you are. You look upward as they ascend, their figures dissolving into the brilliance above. For a moment, you think the light will fade, but it doesn't. It remains. It always remains. You realize then that heaven's presence is not something you visit, it is something you carry. The wind stirs gently, brushing against your hair, and with it comes a whisper so soft it could be mistaken for thought. You have become the echo of heaven. And those words fill you with peace deeper than understanding. The countdown, the urgency, the battles, the silence, they have all led to this. Stillness without fear, purpose without striving, life without separation. You are now living as one, aligned with the rhythm of eternity. You take a slow breath, feeling the presence of God in the inhale, the peace of heaven in the exhale. The angels are gone from sight, but you feel their legacy imprinted within you. Their rescue has become your mission. Their light has become your language. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this divine journey, yet endings with heaven are never truly ends. What has unfolded through these words is not a story to scroll past, but a revelation meant to live within you. You have walked through light and shadow, rescue and revelation, and now you stand as the living proof that grace still moves through ordinary hearts. If this message stirred something deep in you, if it whispered truth where silence once lived, don't let it fade into forgetfulness. Share it, so another weary soul can find their own reminder that heaven still intervenes. Like this message to affirm your alignment with light. Subscribe to remain connected to the flow of revelation. Heaven continues to pour out through each word. And when you're ready, comment below with what you felt, learned, or saw in your spirit, because your testimony becomes someone else's torch. You are part of something greater now, a living chain of light stretching through hearts across the world. Stay awake, stay radiant, keep walking in the rhythm of heaven. The rescue continues through you.